Hi Mr. Zhu. So if we go from position number 1 in the swing, the first thing that we can just eradicate slightly is the amount of flex that you've got in your knees. Okay, so this can just be reduced. Again, I've just used a model on the left hand side there, so rather than making it too complicated, it's just less flex and just feeling that the pressure in your feet remains pretty central here. Okay, so as you take the club away, what we'd like to see in a position when the lead arm is parallel to the ground here, we'd look for the shaft plane to be a little bit steeper. Okay, so if I draw this, and you can see it sort of points outside the ball, if I used an example here, you can see that it's a little bit steeper and points inside of the ball. It's not massive, but because you then get the club very flat so early, you can see then how you swing to the top, and the club gets very what you'd call across the line at the top. So really, this is the part that we'd want to change to start off with. Okay, so more of a desirable position would be the angle of the shaft, just if anything pointing slightly to the left of the target. You can limit the rotation that you've got there. Okay, so you rotate excessive amount. It may just feel that you feel the swing just a little bit shorter to start off with. But yeah, just trying to get it so it looks a little bit more where the shaft is at the top of the swing. Again, the flex in the knee is a little bit too much here, but you would get rid of that if we changed the address as we said we would. Okay, and obviously on the way through here, you can see the club gets a little bit stuck behind you, and again the path would be quite a long way to the right, and I'm guessing you're sort of pushing it and big hooks as well. So really just sort of structuring the backswing a little bit to start off with, keeping it simple. We want the shaft where it is there, pointing a little bit more inside of the ball. That in turn then should enable you to feel at the top of the swing much easier to stop in the position that we've got here. Okay, so if we move on to the front position, which is this one here. So the first thing that I just keep an eye on, if you look at the angle that you start the club face in at address, I personally would have it a little bit more towards the target, so you can see you actually start with the face very open. You don't need the hands pushed this far forward with the driver. It's not going to help you, but if you look at the two separate angles here, you can see they're quite different. It's just much easier to return the club back to the position that we're in at address, and we want it impact. Other than that, the setup is fine. You would move the ball position just a little bit further forward, so you can see here it's very much closer to his left, whereas here's yours getting it's a little bit too central. So as you work away here now, the major things are the mass of your body, okay, or the pelvis shifts too far forward much too soon. Okay, it's going to make it very, very difficult to hit up on the ball. So I want you to feel as you swing back that the pelvis impact here, you can see, or his belt buckle is a little bit more behind the ball here. Yours again is almost on top. Okay, so this is just a little bit of sequence work. So you're almost trying to feel that the belt buckle is not shifting forward there as much as you get, because you see you start to push up very soon, causes you to throw the angle away with your hip, with your wrists. So as you hit the ball at the address position here, you can see your belt buckle is behind the ball. I want you to feel as you hit the ball that it doesn't shift forward as much as it does. It's going to actually stay back. So in this position here, instead of the belt being on this line, it's going to be on this line. Okay, so some quite simple things just to start with, and then we'll step it up as we move forward.